Okay, hello and welcome to Scott's Garage. This is part 2 of Emily's car repair and maintenance. Emily's behind the camera. Say hi, Emily.
Hi.
And we watched part 1 of the video, and I realized that we needed a few explainers that I thought would be good to add. And then we'll continue on with the service and repair of this vehicle. So the first thing I wanted to add is when we changed the oil and we added the oil into the engine, we pulled the dipstick and we said, oh, that looks fine. It's right in between. Well, I didn't really say what in between what. So if we look closely, can we zoom in a little bit? And you see that there's 2 dots here. So this dot would be full because, you know, it goes down into the engine like that and the oil fills up. So this dot would be full and this dot would be a quart low, and right in the middle is about kind of where you want it. You don't want it overfilled, and you definitely, when it gets there, you want to add a quart. And so if it's kind of right in the middle, which it was, that's good. And so we were pretty much just right where we want to be. So that was the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The next thing is the old oil. We said kind of get rid of the old oil. So we have the old oil or used bottles, and so we have this drain pan, with this drain thing, which is good. So you just take that off and you put the oil in here with a funnel, and then now that's empty and ready for another oil change. So what do you do with this stuff? We live in California or any place else really, and it's really important that you dispose of this properly. So I usually wait till I get 3 or 4 of these gallons, and then what I'll do is I'll call, and your state may vary, and I'll call this number right here, and it says recycle free home pickup. And so I call that number, I schedule a home pickup, I put it out on my porch, the guy comes in a truck and he takes it away, and then they recycle it. And so I feel good, you know, the oil got handled properly, and it's very good environmentally. Okay, we never said what kind of car this is. I thought that was something that we kind of missed out, that we should talk about. So this is a 2010 Toyota Matrix. It's a car that we bought used for Emily when she first started driving, and she's been driving it a long time, and now in college and almost through with college. And when you graduate next semester, you'll probably get a real job and get a real car. Well, not a real car. A nicer car. This has been a great car. It's not expensive. Very reliable, good on gas, lots of space in the back for carrying stuff to and from college, and you know, all that kind of stuff. It's been a really great car, and very reliable, and the maintenance that we're doing here is not that big a deal. It's pretty basic stuff and not very expensive either. So yeah, 2010 Toyota Matrix, and it's been a great car so far. Let's see, what else? Oh, okay, the air filter. I looked at the air filter and I checked the video part 1, and I decided to order a new engine air filter. We did want to get a cabin air filter, but then the engine air filter, I thought, why not? It was $12 on Amazon. Just throw it away. I think it's been quite a long time since I've replaced it and put a new one in. Cheap, easy insurance to, you know, the engine oil is really important to keep that clean. The air going into the engine is really important to keep that clean as well. Those 2 things, and your car's gonna run a long, long time unless something really weird happens. So that's it's super easy to just keep your car in good health. Okay, so the brake pad problem. So Emily's main complaint was that it was screeching. It was like nails on a chalkboard when she was backing up, or even a little bit forward, but mostly backing up.
Yeah.
Mostly backing up. And that's classic sign of your pads are worn out. And you have a little sensor right here, and the rotor spins along this and just like screeches as it comes on this little, like, it goes eat, 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 just like nails on a chalkboard. Annoying, but effective. It lets you know when the pad is worn out. But it's more complicated than that. It wasn't just that the rear brakes. These are on the rear. Front brakes are fine. We checked those over. Those are in good shape. The rear brakes, it wasn't just that they were worn out, because when I looked at the brake pad, when you look at the brake pad, you say, oh, that's fine. This is kind of the top where you would look down onto it. And I thought, oh, it's got plenty of brake pad. I don't know why it's making any noise. Maybe it's rubbing on something else. No. Turns out, if you look at it, it's off. So the piston was pushing on the brake pad, and this part was stuck, and it was pushing. As it pushed, it only pushed on this side of the brake, and it artificially ground down that end of the brake pad. So something was going on here. Looks like it's a little rusty. I don't see any sign of any grease when they put these pads in. So this side was stuck, and it was just pushing on that, and that was the only part that was actually slowing the rear car down and ruined the brake pads. Those would have been good to go for a lot more miles if this brake job had been done properly. We'll make sure when we put the new brake pads in that we lubricate this up and make sure that these can move in and out like this and not like this next time, okay? So that's that. Let's see. Oh, the rotors. Okay. So we looked at the rotors. We actually just had a conversation about the rear brake rotors. And we went to the tire place to get the tire fixed, which we'll talk about in a minute. But he asked, oh, are you gonna, I said we were doing the brakes. He said, oh, are you gonna turn the rotors? And I said, oh, that's kind of a good idea. Maybe we should think about that. So I asked him how much it was. He said it was $30 per rotor to turn them. And I thought, that's kind of expensive. So I looked on Amazon, and a brand new rotor was $28. So I bought 2 of them. I just ordered them on Amazon, bought 2 rotors, and it would be actually cheaper to buy new ones than to have the guy turn them. It should be more like, I think like $10 or $15 each. But then, just a little while ago, we got looking at the rotors, and there wasn't a lot of step on the rotors. They were in really good shape. They didn't look warped, and I think they'll be fine. So we just decided that we're going to cancel the ones I ordered from Amazon, and we're just going to go with these. And if we have any problem, we'll cross that bridge, but I think we'll be all right. Okay, so we took the tire to the tire shop, the one with the nail in it. It's now repaired. Let's go get it out of the car, and let's put it on the car. Okay, stay ready. Okay, so we got the tire back from the tire shop, and this is where the nail was, and you can see they circled it and they put a plug right in there, and that looks like it's going to be okay. But we will keep an eye on this tire and make sure that it's not leaking or anything for a little while, and then we'll just, once it's fine, we'll just check it with the regular tire check. Alrighty. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about tire rotation. What we did when we took these tires off is we marked on them. You saw Emily do that in the first video. LR, so left rear. So this one used to be on the left rear. So there's a couple of ways that you can do a tire rotation. Is you can move the fronts to the back and the back to the front, like this, or you can do an X. What do you think we should do, Em? I don't think there's some people say the tires should roll the same direction, right? So if you move them front to back, the tires are always rolling in the same direction. And other people, they move them in an X, which means it's going to go like this, so the tire's going to roll in the opposite direction. I think that was an old wives' tale, like when tires were not as good. Nowadays, modern tires are so good. This is a Goodyear all-weather. It's really nice. It's not going to care which way it's rolling. So let's do an X. Okay? So anything with an R is now going to be on the F. Okay? So anything on the R is going to be on rear, is going to be on the front. And so we can put those on the front. So this was the left rear. Let's put this on the right front, which is this one. Okay, so that'll go here. And the ones that were on the front are going to go on the rear, but we have to work on the brakes. So let's not do that now. This one was a right rear, so this is going on the left front. Okay, over here. And then we have right front, so this is going to go on the left rear, which is over there.
I just confused myself.
And then the left front is going to go on the right rear, which is over here. Okay? All right. Okay, so another thing that I thought I might want to mention from part one is the little notes. This is the air box, and so it's a good place to kind of keep notes on things. So what I did is the cabin air filter, the mileage is 151,000 miles. That's the current mileage, so we're going to replace that. Engine air filter, we're going to replace that. Rear brakes, going to replace that. Now the engine oil, we change that, but what I do is we change that every 5,000 miles. So we just go off of the odometer, or we reset the trip meter. Pick one of your trip meters maybe, and then you can see what your mileage is on the oil change. Also, it'll tell you on the maintenance. The maintenance light will come on kind of about the time you need to change the oil. So I don't really think we need to keep track of all the maintenance here, just the longer term things that you might forget. Okay, so we're ready to put the tires on. This is the one that we got, no, this isn't the one we got repaired, but this is the one from the rear right. Now we're going to put it on the front left. And that should finish up the front of the vehicle. So go ahead and put it on there. It's kind of hard to put it on that way. What I usually do is sit down. Then you can kind of use your legs. Like sit down, sort of spread eagle on the ground.
But I can't lift it.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
And then you can line up the tires with the bolt hole. You can balance it on your legs. Put your legs out, like stick your legs out straight in front of you.
Okay.
Like you're almost doing the splits. And then put the tire on your legs, and then you can kind of use your legs. There you go. See, isn't that much easier? Then you can kind of move it around with your legs instead of your arms, that's hard to do.
What do I do now?
Put on the nuts. Do you see the
Is it on though?
Do you see the stud sticking out? There, yeah. Now you always want to get them started with just your fingers and make sure they're threaded on there nicely. You don't want to just, like they do in NASCAR, and just get the gun and shoot them right on there, because that's not, you can get it cross-threaded. You can strip the nuts out really easily that way. Just get them all started, kind of 2 or 3 turns. If you want to, you can take the socket off of the ratchet gun.
What?
And you can take the socket off of the ratchet gun.
What's that? This?
Just pull it off, yeah. It's on there pretty tight. Yep. Put the ratchet gun aside. Put the ratchet gun aside. Grab the socket. Put the nut in the socket. Like that. Now grab another one. And get it started like that. And just 2 or 3 turns, that's good. And then do all of them like that. You may need to push the bottom of the tire in a little bit. There you go. Because you're not getting any threads sticking out. All right.
So, in terms to understand how you can change up the direction of where the drill is spinning. So, right now, if depending on which side of this button is longer, it's going that way if this side is popping out. But on this other side, if it's popping out on this side, that means it's going the other direction.
Good. Okay. Make it so. Okay, now stop for a second. So the way that you really, the way you're doing it is fine and it'll get the job done. But the way you really want to do it is just screw those in there until they're just snug. And then you want to do it in like a star pattern. Okay, you want to do like a star pattern, like do this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, right? Okay. Opposite, opposite, opposite. And get them all turned down so they're in contact with the bottom of the wheel. So go ahead. Okay, that's good. And then like, yeah, maybe that one. I think you already did that one. Okay, now do that one. There you go. That's enough. And then again. Okay. And then the first one up on there. Now you can give it a few rat-a-tats. Each bolt a few rat-a-tats to make sure that it's tight. There you go. Perfect, just like that. Just make sure you do all the bolts. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Now the other side. So then shout out to my friends at Mighty Car Mods. We'll call that a DAC, right? As they do in Australia. Operate the DAC, please. Commence with the DAC-ing. I think that's what they call it. All right, let her down nice and easy. Come on, you can do it.
Stop laughing. Oh, gosh.
Okay, all the way. All the way. Wow, that's really high in the back. Look at that. I hope we're going to be able to jack up the back, but okay, we'll go with that for now.
So
We might have to put some blocks under the jack to get it up high enough. But we'll figure it out.